Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the GOG Invitationals monthly series here at GOG Games. My name is Mick. I'm your host for today, and we are watching the match here between Aloysius Go and Lim Zhong Yi. And looks like Zhong Yi is playing red-black aggro, so this match might be over just as we started. And Aloysius playing mono black, maybe? Is that mono black? Alright. So he's gonna take away that Heart of Kiran with the Kite Sail Freebooter. And this creature, well, it's gonna survive the Goblin Chain Whirler, but man, Zhong Yi's hand is stacked. He needs to go land, and Zhong Yi has this game, right? Aloysius looks like he's playing blue-black God Pharaoh's game, or maybe blue-black mid-range. Looks like that's the case. Because if Aloysius doesn't take the Heart of Kiran, what can happen is that Zhong Yi will produce 3 power every turn with what's her name, and then with the pirate woman, and then can crew up a Heart of Kiran quite easily. And here we go. Gonna draw 2 cards and gonna discard 2 cards. Karizev, yes, Curiosity Cat, that's right. You come to save me. Gosh, these boxes are like in the worst places.
Yeah, man.
I request for like this thing. Okay, Cass, continue.
So make request for something, but I think that's the judge call. So here we are witnessing another blue-black mid-range. So it seems like blue-black mid-range is quite popular at the moment, and the opponent is playing, of course, mono red. Chain Whirlers, Karizevs, and not Karizev, the girl that spawns the monkey. I'm back. I had to run to the counter to help out because I was in between rounds. But thank you for remembering me as the God of Magic. That's kind of weird. But thanks, Curiosity Cat. And it seems like Blue Black is really popular today. It's quite to my surprise. I did not know that this would be a deck we would be witnessing that often. Okay, and of course, Champion of Wits. Champion of Wits is really good in the deck because it's a part of the Jaw engine. It gives them a body and a second body with the Eternalized ability. Kite Sail, Freebooter, and stuff. Okay, what? He does this kind of Scarab God. Maybe he has another one in his hand. That would be interesting.
No kidding. No. No kidding.
He could have discarded out of a mistake. That happens to everybody.
No, this is not Modo, man. You cannot misclick.
Like you click and you
okay, no,
go too fast and you like click discard.
Right.
Yes.
I say I say that like this is not Modo and you can't misclick, but I've had like brain farts during major tournaments like nationals and like stuff like that. And like literally in my head I misclicked. Like the play was in my head.
Yeah.
And then when it goes to play, right, like I did the totally wrong thing.
I mean, it's happened to me more than often because I'm a terrible player of card games.
Yeah.
But I can understand.
But those are like misplays.
Sometimes you have the line in your head, and then
when it goes
sometimes I think of step 1, 2, 3, and then when I go to execute, I do step 2 first. Then I like,
shit. I was supposed to cast something else first.
Yeah.
All right.
But it happens to everybody. But yeah, so we've seen quite a lot of Blue, Black, and Esper today.
Oh,
and
okay.
I was actually planning to feature Ernest Lim because he's in the store today.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
His opponent has been featured before. And,
it's okay. I mean, like, we can watch Danny See like get wrecked again.
Oh, no, he beat Chu Hing by totally like top decking and like Chow Chewing.
Yeah, lah, exactly. La. So, like, would love to see like Ernest just like steamroll players.
Yeah.
Ernest Lim, of course, he is top 8, 5th to 8th place in the previous Pro Tour. So, congrats to him. He's part of Team GOG Games. Alongside, Jin Hao, team captain Felix, Zhong Yi, who we're watching right now. Ernest was based in in UK, I think, for a while. Or was it Ernest
no,
was
that's,
based in
that's
UK?
Fabian.
Fabian.
Yes,
Fabian is still in the UK right
Fabian,
now.
although a Singaporean, has moved to Europe, I believe for work in general.
Yeah.
But he still does play under the Singaporean flag.
Which is nice, Or at least under the Grey Ogre Games flag lah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I wouldn't say
He'll start doing nationals in Europe.
Yeah,
now.
but as in for the whole as for the team thing, I don't believe we're the first in Singapore to try and sponsor and help out our local players to reach the international stage. But I'm glad that the players we picked and sort of grooming. We're not actually directly grooming them, but giving them the space and the availability to groom themselves. It's working out well.
Yeah, and I've seen before the Pro Tour. For those of you, we're gonna do a little bit of inside baseball the week before they leave, which is basically 2 weeks before. They're in the store every day at the back, just playing it out, playing and playing and playing and playing. And whatever cards that they're missing or whatever support that they need,
we just buy, or we just provide what we can.
Yeah,
and I think it's a lot of dedication. I think that sometimes we mistake people being lucky for being good instead of being good at the game. But these players really work hard, and these players really put their mind to it to do well in this game.
And it shows. I mean, Ernest top 8. Felix, of course, he got to I think fifth to eighth place. Third or fourth place? Fifth to eight. Okay, yeah. So 5th to 8 in the previous one, which was in hours of devastation. Zhong Yi, of course, made day 2. Most of our players make day 2, and the consistency is there. The training, starts from drafting and playing standard or modern. So yeah, these players have been working their ass off so that they can present themselves at the world stage.
I think the team has relatively good coverage. Jin Hao, although sadly did not beat Reed Duke, he was featured in Pro Tour Ixalan, or was it Rivals of Ixalan?
Oh yeah. Rivals.
Unfortunately, he lost his 2 win and ins to the world, 2 Hall of Famers, which was Reed Duke and I think it was LSV or
no, not LSV. Reed Duke and
I think John Finkel. He lost it to John Finkel. So he lost to Reed Duke first. He lost his win in. Then he lost his second win in to John Finkel. Yeah. So if you're
top decks, by the way, both matches.
And it was modern, and you're playing at the kind of competitive stage where the only people you lose to are Hall of Famers. I think that's fair. And he was featured. Yeah. And Reed Duke being super soul and top decking and playing it really well. He beat Jin Hao, and so did John Finkel. But yeah, I'm glad that the team is doing well. We have them at the store now. I had Felix to help me cast just now when Danny was playing against Chewing. Okay. And I had Chewing cast, so there's a lot of, for what I could get, quite a bit of insight for standard. And just
because it's you.
No, I mean we just had discussion about the Goblin, the Chain Whirler,
right? How good is it?
Ban, not ban for future sets. Is it gonna warp future sets because of the way it's built, the ability of dealing 1 damage?
Yeah, that can actually be quite devastating. I mean, the effect of Goblin Chain Whirler is the first eruption. Yeah. Right, and then gives you a 3/3 first striking.
I don't think there's any card that's below maybe let's say 6 CMC that comes in has a decentable stat 3/3, 5/5 or 6/6. That there's a miniature board wipe and his first strike. Yeah. So I think Chain Whirler is I think pushing the boundaries of rare into mythic levels, and it's not being entirely balanced. So but Chewing presented a good counter argument to the comparison between Ferocidon and the usual Chain Whirler. So although Ferocidon has similar stats but different abilities, Ferocidon does have some form of oppression, so it's menace.
Yeah, okay, that's true. You can't play around the Ferocidon. You can play around a Goblin Chain Whirler, right?
And it stops the life gain from Approach of Second Sun. Yeah. A couple other cards. I think Appetite for the Unnatural if you gain life from there. So Chuhin presented quite a decent argument for why Chain Whirler, although good, is not exactly a Ferocidon. Yeah. And I agree. I think that for the sake of argument, Chain Whirler is very powerful, but it may not get banned. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, it warps the meta game fine. People will play around that. There will be a time where red-black is not the strongest deck in Standard, right? And it may... Well, not rotation. The new set's coming up soon, and that may shift. Yep. But it may shift even before the new set comes out. I mean, we've seen time and time again where, people start to shift the meta game very close to the end
Yep.
of the standard cycle for the, for that cycle, and and I won't be surprised that will happen here again.
Yeah.
Like,
So one of the comments that one of the things me and Felix talked about was that although Felix feels that the current standard is very mature in terms of meta game, actually I feel that it's not really, because what happens is now people are discovering old decks are doing relatively well. So like green black is apparently doing quite well against white blue control.
right,
And so like all these
like
old,
blue green, like look at this,
Yeah.
like the blue black.
so like
is
GPG,
doing-
blue black mid range, they're all
Yeah.
resurfacing from the past, and so the meta game always shifts. I
Yeah.
think there's always a revolving door where one deck may be good, but it's never like always the top position.
Yeah, we're in a good spot. I think like standard is in a good spot. The fact that, okay, so I'm not like the yardstick, but the fact that I'm like excited to build standard decks,
Yeah.
that I haven't felt that in the last maybe 3 or 4 sets, right? And
Yeah.
the last time I felt this excited was when green black snake
Okay, Winding
came
Coast,
out. Yeah, like the after, was it Ixalan?
I
Where,
mean,
where was the
AWB.
one where I had that champion playmat? I think that was
I
Ixalan, right?
think that was excellent.
Yeah, okay. So store championship Ixalan. Like, I wasn't even excited to build that deck.
Stroke them ego.
Yeah, I know,
yeah.
stroke that ego. No, but
yeah.
I wasn't even excited to build that deck, I just came and then like, this is probably the best deck, I'm just going to play it. The set before that was when it was really fun to build, and you just build and you try it out.
Yeah.
And we've had like 1 year now,
Yeah.
it feels like,
And I
of
totally agree.
stale.
Although the people who have been watching like Curiosity Cat from the start of the stream know that I've been complaining about the price of the cards, even though I'm excited for standard. Man, cards and the fairies are way too
Come on,
expensive,
man. Like, nobody's using Khan right now.
no man.
Everybody's using Khan in non-standard formats.
I mean, I have a comment about this.
Yeah.
It's expensive in Singapore, but not overseas.
It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
it's not expensive in
It's
Singapore.
not expensive in other countries.
Right
Oh, okay.
now it's expensive in Singapore, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
But nobody's playing Khan. Look at it. Nobody
No, not
right.
this, but we had like previous games where like people just casted Khan and the card advantage just snowball out of control, and then
Okay, so
It
I've
is
got
quite
a
crazy.
deal with Khan. Like, the card advantage from Khan is like virtual. Is really, really virtual card advantage. The fact that Khan's powerful, I agree,
Mhm.
but it doesn't get you the card of your choice.
yeah.
I like it in the saffron olive type of like aggressive shell where you like drop a Khan and you just minus and minus and minus and minus as
Mhm.
much as you can before you have to take up. Like, you don't use Khan as a card advantage engine. And the reason why is because Khan, like, it's a fatty. It comes down at
Yeah.
4 mana with five
Yeah.
goddamn
Why?
counters.
Oh god, why? Right?
Why? Right? Why?
I mean, from what I've seen of today's like matches with Khan involved, I think that therein lies quite a bit of R&D problems with Khan. One,
Mm.
he's supposed to be colorless, so I mean, yeah, he's colorless.
Okay, yeah, fine.
He's 4 CMC, which is really low for standard.
4 or 5 loyalty
So,
planeswalker.
And 5 loyalty,
What?
which is usually never the case where a planeswalker has more loyalty than their casting cost.
Yeah, it's very rare. I mean,
It's
like,
very, very
yeah.
rare. And then the next thing is that it has an inbuilt card advantage that takes 2 cards at a time, and your opponent has a choice. I think that's a bit different. So I think that there could be many ways to around Khan. So the fairy is 5 mana. His +1 is draw 1 card and untap 2 land. That is crazy powerful. Khan
Yes.
is 1 mana less, and you get to look at 2 cards and your opponent chooses 1. Right? I think
And then next turn you probably gonna get the other card.
yeah, so it feels like the balancing is not right. And then you leave such a powerful ability on a colorless planeswalker.
Yeah.
Like Ugin was impactful, but Ugin was high enough mana cost so that you
The-
kind of like curve
you'd
off
have to,
certain
yeah,
things.
you'd have to like play in. You really have to play that in like a control shell.
Yep.
Whereas here you can like,
Like I'm playing mid range. Here's a Khan.
here's a
haha.
card,
Yeah.
deal with it. Vraska's Contempt.
Yeah, so I mean I think that Khan is really really powerful. But from what I've seen, I'm very interested in the blue white deck. It seems like the deck is really well positioned against like the blue white decks as well as the blue white control. Maybe not Esper control because we haven't seen too much of pure Esper control like Ernest is playing today.
Yeah.
But it is good against the blue white at least.
Did Aloysius or Zhong Yi win? I'm guessing Aloysius won
Aloysius
because
won.
it's like he had like giant board. I wasn't paying attention right there.
I think Aloysius won. But in any case, I think today's events proves only that standard is diverse. And
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about running into like 20 mono red decks in like a 20-man event, you know?
Because we're trying to solve that. Like we see, okay. One thing that you have to consider is that Pro Tour is a meta game, right? You have to play the meta
Yeah.
game, otherwise you're going to lose the Pro Tour. With that said, like it's encouraging to see that people are starting to very quickly try to turn that corner and say, okay, this is how we are going to deal with the mono red deck. This is how we're going to deal with the red black decks. And these are the decks to do it. And looks like, it's Esper God Pharaoh's Gift with a different package.
Yep.
We're looking at the white guy. I think some run the Esper one
Yep.
where it's 3 mana, enters the battlefield, you get a 3/2 and gain 4 life.
Yeah.
That is a shitty creature, people. That is the worst type of creature, but
Yeah.
it's being played.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so it boggles
yeah.
my mind.
I think it's so I've said this with Chu Heng and I said this with Felix, that I think that the Proto wasn't a good representation of the metagame that we
Right.
have now. So what I likened it to was a scissors paper stone game without one of the elements inside. So we know that for one, blue white is kind of good against mono red. Right, yes, it's the approach of the second sun method. Yes, the normal blue white, like just good stuff.
Sort of,
right?
yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
got seal away. It's got everything to deal with whatever
So
red
the
has.
matchup is maybe like 65-35 or 60-40. So
Mm.
slightly in their favor, even post board.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem with the Proto is I felt that the reason why this might have happened is because the red decks that were playing against these decks maybe either didn't face many blue whites, or the blue whites, the people who were playing blue whites
just
ran
didn't do
into-
well, yeah.
just didn't do well, or ran into like really bad matchups that we
Or
didn't
your draft,
identify yet.
and you have to consider that these people are drafting,
Yeah.
which also affects their score, which pushes them either down or pushes them up
Yeah.
on the on the curve. So the fact that we see like a top 8 with just like mono red or red black, right, doesn't mean that there are
Everybody's
decks.
only playing those decks.
Yeah,
right?
exactly,
Yeah.
because they were drafting and they're like really good drafters. Look at like Reed Duke, look at LSV, look at who else was it? Menguchi.
Yeah, Menguchi who drafted like open the first pack Khan and
Yeah,
turn
exactly.
pack 2
Pack
Khan
two
and turn
Khan.
3 Teferi. Yes.
Yeah, easy game,
Yeah.
Marcio Carvalho. Marcio is just very good
Yeah.
at drafting. He was the draft master, I think, 2 years back. He's very good at constructed. Despite what you've heard of him, he is a very good player. So, overall, fine. I lose like 1 draft. I lose like 2 draft. I go, 4-2. So depending on who you're looking at, like Owen Tontowall and stuff like that, they're very good at constructed, but maybe not so strong at draft.
And I think a lot of these factors include, usually we liken good players to always do well. But when you're talking about international stage, when you sieve through like bad players like me and you start getting the best of the best, I think performing consistently well becomes really difficult. You don't see the same guys
Right.
always consecutively entering a pro. Like you don't see, for example, Patrick Chapin or LSV or Seth Black constantly being in the top 8 of the Proto, each and every Proto. You see them once every like 3 to 4 Protos.
Yeah,
Because when
because
you play-
everybody's good.
Yeah. When you're playing against the best of the best, there's a lot of randomness involved and there's a lot
Also,
more luck
yeah.
involved when you don't make mistakes.
Yep.
Right? So
And they're playing, I mean,
Yeah.
we start off each day of the Pro Tour with a draft,
Yep.
which you are playing against like the rest of the 7 people at your table when you're like X and O or like X and 1, right?
Yeah.
They are just nuclear bombs
Yeah.
waiting to go off.
They're
So
like players who think of like they think of your strategies like when they're like trying to formulate like, what did he have for breakfast? Determine what choices he's gonna make today. Like, I can't imagine that. I
they
can't.
seeded, seeded like, oh, I gave him red tea for breakfast, so he's probably gonna go red
Yeah.
X, right?
Yeah, it's, like that's the kind of thing I imagine like really good players thinking about that I can't phantom myself like imagining. Because I feel that there are certain things, there's certain gaps that we can't overcome that they
Mhm.
think about that we don't think about, we don't factor in, we don't consider.
Right.
into it.
Okay.
And maybe it's just the kind of thing like
Yeah.
and yeah, but in any case I think the Proto wasn't a great representation. I think standard is really fun to play.
Yep.
Khan and Teferis though, those are my only issues, man. I can't afford to play no Khans and no Teferis in
Come
standard.
on, you
And
can.
I'm not gonna be vanilla and basic and then play mono red. I'll play something cool. I want to play like black green or blue
Dude,
black.
play my deck. I lend you my deck and you go and play. Are you going for GP Singapore?
No, man.
Are you running a shop?
I have to run the booth, man. I mean, I'm not
Dude,
sad-
you can play my Jack deck,
I'm not
man.
sad about running the booth, because I get paid to do it, and it's good money.
Yep.
But I haven't had my first GP experience. But I'm hoping
Oh shit,
that
that's
when
a
it's
card.
modern season and when I finally get a job, I'll be able to play.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Man, I can lend you my jank deck. So jank.
Hey man,
So
Is
jank.
it-
Turn
is it-
3 Khan. So
is-
good. Aggro
are you
Khan.
playing the what's that
Grixis.
color dash green rare that's a legendary, then Mox Ember, and then
Oh
you
no
like-
no 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 no!
Oh, it's not
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, I saw the video of it, and he like drew like the god hand to like has it on like turn 2. That's some stupid stuff, man. I don't know, man.
Mulligan to empty
And
hand.
the worst one is the green legendary, the 1-drop green legendary. Doesn't do anything without energy.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like just for the sake of adding mana. It's really bad. But yeah,
So yeah, we just saw like Zhong Yi's deck, playing a Khan and stuff like that. And Aloysius here just getting beat down 3 life at a time, which is that's painful. That is painful.
I think he's considering whether when he gets the mana to commit.
Yeah.
I think
Okay, so commit that away.
And yeah, I think Zhong Yi is playing more mid range rather than aggro from what his deck is.
Hostage taker and cast the spell. Okay,
Everybody-
so Aloysius
everybody
just left himself open. Let's see if Zhong Yi can.
like triple lightning strike.
I don't know, man. Yeah, weirder things have happened. Lightning.
That's Oh,
Okay,
Chain
so
Whirler.
Chain Whirler.
Everybody's forgotten how good Hostage Taker is. I think Hostage Taker really shines now
Yes.
when there are powerful cards like Chain Whirler being played.
And when people are playing like two drop, 3 drop, and you can easily get to
Like, can you imagine cast your
that
knight,
mana.
your white knight or the black version of the knight, and then you
Ah,
like,
yeah,
Hostage
yeah.
Taker and steal that stun, like, haha, now I can block your knight. Yeah.
Well, you can't play the white knight though,
yeah, you can.
because
But
it's black.
I mean, from what I've seen, Hostage Taker today is really has turned around quite a few games.
Yeah.
Torrential Gilhawk's always been a powerhouse, so nothing
Yeah.
to comment there. But
Scarab God's coming back, so
I think reanimating a Chain Whirler is kind of win. It's kind of like full value. Like, do you want extra damage? Have a like 4/4 body and a first strike body.
all right. So sacrifices the hostage taker, but also because like he's got Scarab God,
Yeah, he's gonna push.
fatal
Yeah.
push, get rid of that guy.
And I think Aloysius still has the Torrential Gilhawk to respond to
Oh yeah.
any Chandras or any shenanigans trying to do.
Yep.
But Zhong Yi played conservatively and passed the turn, so I think.
And I think Aloysius should just be aggressive right now. Draw 7 cards.
yeah, just.
Yep, flash this back. I'm gonna go memory.
Oh, by the way, I didn't realize, but it's a cool Diablo shirt, if anything.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Alright, and License Disintegration does get rid of the Gearhawk, but it goes back into the deck and draw 7 cards. Okay, draw
Wheel.
7 cards.
I think
At
the
the
only-
end of your opponent's turn when they cannot do anything.
I think the only way it could get better is if only you was the one who was shuffling.
No. Life is
Yeah.
fair.
Little
Life
like
is fair. God is
like
fair.
A power 10 kind of card, especially if it's like low casting card. Like, shuffle only your graveyard and your hand and draw 7.
Dude, there was that card in Battle Bond game plan, 6 mana, and then it's the
It's a
wheel.
assist
Not the yeah, it's a assist card.
Okay.
So 6 mana and time twister for everyone.
Holy
Whoa! And like, can you imagine at a table where you go
Time twisted though. Hold.
turn two time twister and everybody.
Oh, they're getting another box. Or they some
Wow.
people are
Dominaria?
getting packs the hard way.
Oh my god!
Some people
Oh
are
no,
getting-
but it's not Iconic Masters. God damn it!
Actually, Iconic Masters EV is going up slowly.
Yeah.
Because the EDH cards are slowly coming back. Like, Additional is back up to like 15 or 16 US. Like,
Yay!
back when it was like $8 and $12. It's climbing back up. Though there are a lot of staples and this mana drain. So, but yeah, I think Aloysius is quite safe.
Yeah, I think
except
it's.
from the random like double burns to his face.
I don't like this. I really don't like this. Unless he's got like some removal, counter
So what's
spells.
that card? I can't
Oh,
see
there's a
it from the
Vraska's
perspective.
Contempt
What's that
as
card?
well.
Is it Scarab God?
Scarab God, yeah, that's
Okay.
a Scarab God.
Yeah. So I was telling the stream that if we get enough support, we can pay people to stand behind and like do like the proto thing. Yeah. So I told him to like come down to the shop and support us shamelessly.
No, you don't even need to come down to the shop to support us. Go on eBay.
Yeah.
There's a link in the Twitch description. to a place where you can support the show. Just buy some of the stuff, and all that money actually goes to the stream.
Yeah. We want to do nicer and have nicer things for the stream.
Number one, we gotta change the stand. If anybody knows where to get like a proper like rig to put the cameras,
Yeah.
I would love that. Like somebody please do.
Yeah, I mean, so no one like randomly walks in and bumps it, and right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, right? Oh, that is so annoying.
Oh,
All right, so Aloysius here taking
Oh,
control.
yeah. And this is such a big swing. He just went like almost equalized their life state.
Yep.
From like just one swing. I think so. That's why I mean we've seen quite a few blue black today, and I think it's really
It's a powerful deck.
It's an up and coming deck. I
Yeah.
think that we will see in the GPs performing better.
But I do like Esper control. I do prefer Esper. I think it's got more tools. I don't like Cast Down. Cast Down is it deals with Goblin Chain Whirler, but come Singapore GP Singapore,
Yep.
I think people will have changed the meta game. You shouldn't be playing that Cast Down. It's not good against Karizev. It's not good against Scarab God. Like you are, it's good
Yeah.
against maybe Torrential Gearhawk, fine.
Yeah.
Or what's his name? The hostage taker.
Yeah, I feel that that a lot of these things will probably shift. Like Singaporeans won't all play either mono red or control.
Yeah.
But my only real issue with standard control now is that the games are so draggy, and there's no determining factor to concede. So like sometimes you
Right.
play like a 0-0 game and no one really wins because both players are making such crucial decisions and it's taking a lot of time.
Mhm.
And I mean I've seen a few tables just from today and so many tables have drawn, just because like
Okay.
both players can't find the determining
Wait,
factor.
this will be interesting. Okay, if Aloysius here has a fatal push. Oh,
Oh.
okay. Yep, scoopity-doo. Okay, so here's what Aloysius could have done. If he had a fatal push, right? Kill the Karizev, it goes
Okay.
back to the graveyard, reanimate the Karizev.
And
then this thing.
okay,
Okay.
that's pretty interesting.
Cass,
Okay.
keep talking.
So yeah, that was an interesting night of play, but Aloysius Go had the Torrential Gearhawk to close out the game, and Zhong Yi did not have anything to follow after the Torrential Gearhawk managed to resolve. But that's just how blue black is. If and any control deck is that if they stabilize, generally it's hard to beat. Super. I can't really pronounce your name. What do I predict the meta game for GP Sing? I predict that it will be more diverse than the Proto and the previous GP that just passed where Mono Red just won. Simply because I feel that based on what Singaporean players are discovering and overseas based GP results and local tournaments is that Blue Black is one of the viable options to beat both Blue White Control and Mono Red. And there's also not forgetting GPG that we have not seen today, which we do not know how well it performs in the meta game, as well as all the other decks that we are resurfacing now that we know that Mono Red isn't like the top contender for like first place in GPs and the best deck to play. Personally, I feel that Singaporeans will change the decks they play for GP, because most of the times in like semi-casual events like these or casual events, people will play decks that they always want to try. So if you always play aggro, you want to play control, and usually in the GP, people understand that you can't play like a blue-white control for 9 rounds and expect to like go X2 and enter day 2 in a good position. So I do think that there will be some switches around. I think people who have been constantly playing aggro will probably switch out to maybe mid-range like blue-black or blue-black control. And yeah, I do believe there is values that come with the playing blue-black. And there's a lot of 2-for-1s that the blue-white deck can't handle. I do feel the Esper control is in a good position as well. Though they still had a problem playing against like just mono red. Basically, any control that you play at upcoming GP needs to either fly under the radar of these control decks, or they need to be like mid-range with a lot of 2-for-1 value. That's probably the only way to really do well at GP, because if you are a player of the highest caliber, like people who play in the Proto, and you don't make that many mistakes that often, these are the things that you're probably looking out for, like what decks to metagame, what do you think is good in the field, what's good against that. And oftentimes it comes down to like randomness and just like scissors, paper, stone. Sometimes you just chose the right deck for the right event, and sometimes you chose the wrong deck for the wrong event. But that I feel that saying only kind of applies to like really excellent players who like don't make like simple mistakes or sequencing mistakes. Because the rest of us are subjected to like a lot more mistakes than randomness, and those are the things that actually cause the downfall of most of us. So I believe Nick went to handle a judge ruling, and I'm running out of sliders, so I'm gonna pause the stream. We will put on our ad to show you the SQs and how our GOG invitationals are like. If you have any questions, you can drop us a Facebook message or you can message on the stream. But for now, we're going on a break. We will see you guys in about 18 minutes. So be back at about 5:20. So yeah, see you in a bit.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to round 3 of our Grey Ogre Games Invitationals monthly series. My name is Mick. I'm your host for today. We're watching the match here between Nicholas Wong and Faisal Rosmaruddin. Nick here playing blue, white control, it seems, and Faisal looks like he's playing black, red aggro, Rakdos aggro, and Nick here, no lands. That's unfortunate. Missing 2 of his land drops, going to be taking lots and lots of damage. Of which we can't even see the damage. I'll be right back. So yeah, I mean Nick here just kept a 2-land hand and now discarding down to hand size, and unfortunately meeting down a pretty nasty board. There we go. Goblin Chain Whirler gonna get countered here. Lots of counters in Nick's hand. Unfortunately, no lands to keep it going. And he's down to 8, and that's the game. So we're going to game 2. That was fast. Well, sometimes games go like that, unfortunately. So yeah, that's tough. That's not cool, man. That is tough. But we're gonna go to game 2 here very, very quickly. Nick deciding not to show his opponent any more of whatever he has. And Nicholas here thinking about maybe sideboarding in, Yeah, the history of Benalia is pretty good. I think the knights are very good too. It might just transition into a very creature heavy matchup, where Nick just basically plays a very fair like blue-white deck. History of Benalia seems like a good choice, and I think the Knights are also a pretty good choice. I feel, of course, I have been wrong on several occasions. Maybe a lot more than several occasions. So yeah, I'm starting to post up all the the channels, the Chanels, the MTG North, 408 members. I man. Hmm. I haven't been to a lot of these pages in a while. There we go. Right. There we go. All right, if you're just joining us, you are watching the Grey Ogre Games Invitationals monthly series. At the end of this tournament, a team will have automatic qualification into the seasonal qualifiers as well as a 1 round bye. So it's really, really important to win this. And it's team unified standard, which means that, well, your decks all have to be within the team, all have to be unique. That means that you are using unique cards. This means that if, let's say, Nicholas here, he plays negate, none of his team members can play negate in their main board or sideboard. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. If I play this color combination, you guys can't play this color combination because honestly speaking, there aren't a lot of cards in standard and the card pool is like not that great. But here's the kicker. They've already arranged out their seating arrangement. So you got A, B, and C. You got players A, B, and C, and they have to be in that order. So you might get, like we're looking at right now, if you place it wrongly, you might get control versus the aggro matchup. And that's how the ball rolls. So you've got to be on your feet. And Nicholas here doing something that I really like, and I advise a lot of players to do, which is basically shuffle in all 15 cards and basically pull out 15 or less of the worst cards in your deck. And that gives an idea your opponent like how many cards that your opponent doesn't know how many cards you're sideboarding in. Which can be important because if they know that you didn't sideboard in that many cards, if you know you didn't sideboard in that many cards, then then they know like, oh, okay, I'm playing against his stock deck, right? They don't have a lot of answers to what I'm doing, and so by doing this, you're basically making sure that you don't give your opponent more information about how you are sideboarding. So let's say this deck is very poor against control, and I've got maybe 7 sideboard cards for control. Or I have no sideboard cards against control. They won't know that you don't. So yeah, it's a good habit to keep. It's a good habit to have. So try to do that. There we go. Nick here looks like he has transitioned to a more creature heavy version of his deck. Or Faisal looks like he's boarding in the Planeswalkers. Planeswalkers be good. Be pretty good. Starts off with Cannon Slow, pass the turn. Or is that a Dragon Skull Summit? Okay. Knight comes in. Does the knight stay? Yeah, knight stays. And Faisal with a very lonesome walking ballista. And Nicholas, no fear of the Reaper, just gonna beat in. with his knight, pushes Faisal down to 12. A second knight and a tap land, it seems. Oh no, okay. Untap land. Alright. Send a message. I'm not quite sure what the untapped white source could represent though. Curious. Alright. Do 1 damage to everyone. Faisal here goes down to 18, yep. Not going to use that walking ballista to get rid of any of the knights. Oh, a third knight too. Okay. Why not? Just passes the turn, keeps up blink of an eye for the chain whirler or anything that Faisal might have. Chain whirler swings in. Does Nick want to trade off his entire board for Faisal's entire board? Yep, and he goes for it. Yep, they'll trade off and 1 damage onto the other knight. And Nicholas here waiting for Faisal's response. It looks like he's going to go for the Chandra. Gonna push up counters. And I think that's fine. So Faisal is aware that Nicholas maybe has a blink of the eye. Blink of an eye. Lets that resolve. Shoots down for 1. Gonna try to save it. And Faisal here forced to sacrifice if he doesn't want Nicholas to draw a card. So 2 cards for 2 cards, it seems. Or 3 cards, in fact. And here we go. Teferi gonna hit the battlefield. Teferi is a powerhouse, right? It's yeah, I guess Khan is great, but Teferi is boss. Teferi is seriously boss. And Faisal here follows that up with Chandra and no reply from Nicholas. Just gonna cycle the irrigated farmland away. And with that Pianala also on the battlefield. Makes it pretty good. Alright, so the Teferi, his +1 ability, draw a card at the beginning of the next end step, untap 2 lands. And then his -3 ability is put target non-land permanent into its owner's library, 3rd from the top. So he looks like he's not going to tuck that Chandra away. Because he's got another Teferi in hand. And the knight comes in. Nicholas untaps his 2 lands and just passes the turn. Yeah, Teferi here is powerful, but is it as powerful as Chandra? Or maybe you can have both. See. Yeah, Chandra's still a long way from embleming. It's going to be you know, one step shy of trying to emblem. And can he get rid of the Teferi? That's 3. Yeah, he can. Swing in all at Teferi. Just going to pump. No, decides not to pump. And Teferi goes down to 3. Loyalty counters. Does Faisal want to fire off that Goblin Chain Whirler as well? No, okay, so he doesn't fire off the Goblin Chain Whirler. Okay. I guess he saves the mana for the Scrap Heap Scrounger to bring back the Scrap Heap Scrounger. Teferi here going to draw Nicholas another card, and man, that is too many lands. Way too many lands. Nicholas here gets to untap the memorial to, I forget what's the one of the memorial lands that lets you draw 2 cards. Oh wow, Rekindling Phoenix. I might want to cast this because Rekindling Phoenix is pretty good. Ooh. Nope, just gonna do you 2 points of damage. I think getting that Teferi off the board is more important, it seems. So Faisal here deciding whether to play around the a Saddle Wreckage. Gonna attack step these 2 at Teferi and just those 2 alone. Okay, and Teferi goes down. No need to pump. What he doesn't know is that Nick just has stone nothing in hand. But he can get back maybe with a Fumigate. End step gonna draw 2 cards. Sacrifice that. Draw 2 more cards. 1, 2. And they're both lands. Oh, that is horrible. This is bad, bad, bad. Oh. This is definitely not good. And a second Teferi, but what can it do? And I think at this point, you know, Faisal might just want to swing in at the face, knowing that Nick. So here's the thing: Nicholas here just drew 4 cards. 2 from the memorial, 1 from his draw step, and 1 more from Teferi, and yet pretty bad. And that Chandra keeps ticking up. Tick, 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 tick. Faisal here might want to think about getting rid of the Teferi and taking a little bit of the measured approach here. Teferi goes down to 1. Maybe he's got nothing. Chain Whirler. Chain Whirler gets dismissed. Maybe a shock here. Alright, and just passes the turn. Okay, so Teferi survives one more day. I think Faisal should have just pumped the one of his artifact creatures, the 1/1 Thopter. And Nicholas here just flooding out. Maximum flood. Draws even more lands. He has more lands than he knows what to do with. And this is very, very unfortunate. Yeah. That is a lot of lands. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then he's got another 5 in hand. That's 13. That's more than half the lands in his deck. In the top half of his deck. Looking for that Fumigate. Looking for basically anything. Any action would be great. Duress. I'm gonna just duress you and find out that you have absolutely nothing in hand. Respond. Gonna cycle this. Oh no, and he cycles into the Saddle Wreckage. That was a mistake. No, he should not have cycled. Now he has the Saddle Wreckage, and now he makes the... Yeah. That was a mistake. That was a punt. I think, especially if your opponent went Duress, they couldn't take anything from your hand, and now Faisal is just free to pump all his guys, swing at Teferi, and the rest are swinging at you. Teferi dies, and Faisal chooses not to pump. Yeah, that's not enough. Walking Ballista for 2 and just passes the turn. So yeah, things are looking pretty grim for Nicholas. He needs a Fumigate but doesn't draw it, and that's the game. Faisal takes it 2-0 off of a Mana Screw and a Mana Flood. And I think Nicholas there just made a very, very small punt of drawing the cycling the irrigated farmlands a little bit too early. All right, so Faisal takes it. We are going to game 3. We are going to round 4 in about half an hour's time, so don't go away. Remember, you can join us on the stream regularly on a Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Singapore time, twitch.tv/GreyOgreGames. You can also watch it on youtube.com/GreyOgreGames, and you can watch replays on youtube.com/GreyOgreGames. And then head on down to our website, GreyOgreGames.com, if you want to find out more about the Invitationals and how you can be part of the Invitationals. And if you like what you see, and you like and hear what you do see, do you like what you see and hear? What am I talking about? Yeah, you like what you see and hear. Make sure you follow us on all the social media channels. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Yoku, I think, Blue. I think that's a stream channel somewhere. All right, we're going to go for a short break. We'll be back soon, so don't go away. Hello everyone and welcome back to round 3 of our Grey Ogre Games Invitationals monthly series. My name is Mick. I'm your host for today. We're watching the match here between Nicholas Wong and Faisal Rosmaruddin. Nick here playing blue, white control, it seems, and Faisal looks like he's playing black, red aggro, Rakdos aggro, and Nick here, no lands. That's unfortunate. Missing 2 of his land drops, going to be taking lots and lots of damage. Of which we can't even see the damage. I'll be right back.